Have you ever noticed that the exact second you open your front door, your dog seems to completely lose control? He runs desperately through the living room, jumps on you, barks, spins around, grabs toys, wags his tail like something enormous is happening. But have you ever stopped to think about why he reacts so intensely? What if I told you this goes far beyond happiness? What you're about to discover might surprise you, because there's a hidden emotional reason inside the canine brain that almost nobody truly understands. You might think your dog is simply excited because you came home. After all, that's what almost every owner believes. But the reality is that inside the canine mind, your arrival can represent something much deeper, emotional, and even psychological. For many dogs, the moment their owner comes back home is literally the most important point of the entire day. And when you understand that, you start seeing your dog's behavior in a completely different way. Think about this for a few seconds. While you were working, studying, going out with friends, or simply living your normal routine, your dog was probably waiting to hear the sound of the key, the elevator stopping, the noise of the car, your footsteps approaching the door. Have you ever experienced that? Coming home and realizing he was already waiting for you before you even walked in? That doesn't happen by accident. The canine brain builds extremely strong emotional connections with the people they love, and that's exactly where everything starts to get fascinating. Because when a dog creates a true emotional bond with someone, that person is no longer just the owner. They come to represent safety, protection, routine, happiness, and emotional comfort. In other words, you become the emotional center of his life. Now imagine what happens inside the dog's brain in the seconds before you arrive. The level of anticipation rises, emotional anxiety increases, the body enters a state of positive alertness, and when the door finally opens, all of that emotional charge explodes at once. That's why some dogs seem to enter a state of euphoria that's impossible to control. They don't know how to hide emotions the way humans do. Their body says everything. And perhaps the most impressive part of all is this: many dogs express pure emotions in a way that human beings have forgotten how to do. No ego, no agenda, no pretending, just real emotion. Maybe that's exactly why so many people feel such a strong connection with dogs, because they turn small, ordinary moments into something emotionally enormous. But there's one detail in all of this that almost nobody notices. In some cases, this intense reaction can reveal emotional signals far deeper than simple longing. Some dogs develop extremely high levels of emotional attachment, separation anxiety, and emotional dependency without their owners ever realizing it. And the most curious thing is that many of these signs seem cute on the surface. After all, who doesn't find it adorable when a dog runs around frantically the moment their owner gets home? But stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover from here on might completely change the way you interpret your dog's behavior. There's a psychological explanation behind this emotional explosion, and understanding it might reveal what your dog truly feels when you leave, and especially when you come back. And maybe while you're listening to this right now, a memory came to mind. The way your dog runs to you, the way he looks into your eyes when you arrive, or even that moment when he seemed completely unable to contain his happiness just because you walked through the door. And you know what's most incredible? Many people spend years with their dogs without ever realizing how much those small behaviors hide deep emotions. If this subject resonates with you, drop a comment below telling me what touched you most so far. I genuinely want to know how your dog reacts when you get home. Does he run, cry, spin around the room, grab toys, or does he simply stare at you like nothing else in the world matters in that moment? Because the more people share these experiences, the more we realize something remarkable. Dogs feel far more than most people imagine. And there's another important detail in all of this. Sometimes a simple comment down below helps another owner understand something they had never noticed about their own dog. Maybe someone is going through the exact same situation as you. Maybe someone is confusing important emotional signals with normal behavior. That's what turns this channel into something greater than just videos. Little by little, it becomes a community of people who genuinely want to understand their dogs. And if this video made you notice something new about your dog, hit the like button right now. That tells YouTube that this kind of content needs to reach more people who love their dogs. It might seem like a small thing, but that gesture helps other owners avoid making mistakes without even realizing it. And in the end, more dogs live better lives because of it. So click like and be part of that. Now let me ask you something different. Comment, "I understand my dog," if you feel there's something special about the connection between you two. It sounds simple, but it creates a very strong energy right here inside the channel. Because when many people start noticing the hidden feelings behind canine behavior, something changes in the way we see our own animals. And honestly, this is the kind of content that almost nobody talks about on the internet today. And if you love your dog and want to understand what he truly feels, this channel was made for you. Here you'll discover signals that most people ignore every single day. Each video is a new way to strengthen the bond with someone who trusts you completely. If that resonates with you, subscribe right now, because those who truly understand their dog never look at him the same way again. And the most curious thing is that the behavior that seems merely cute on the surface can reveal something much deeper happening inside your dog's mind. Because there's a specific reason that makes some dogs react so intensely when they hear their owner coming home. And that's exactly where everything starts to get even more fascinating. The emotional center of your dog's life. The hidden truth that many people never realize is that your dog probably organizes his entire day around your existence. That sounds like an exaggeration when someone first says it, but start paying attention to what happens behind the scenes of his routine. While you're out solving problems, making decisions, working, or simply living your journey normally, your dog remains there, emotionally connected to the possibility of your return. And that completely changes the way you see the moment the door opens. Many dogs learn patterns that humans never even imagine. The specific sound of the elevator, the noise of the car parking, the way the key touches the lock. Some recognize your footsteps before anyone else in the house notices a thing. And the most impressive part is that this doesn't happen just out of habit. It happens because of deep emotional attachment. Maybe right now you're remembering situations that used to seem small. Your dog walking to the door a few minutes before you arrived, getting restless around the time you usually come home, or staring fixedly at the entrance of the house as if waiting for something very important to happen, because in his mind, he really is. Now I want to show you something that completely changes the way you see this. Many dogs don't view the owner's arrival as simply, someone came back home. For them, it represents emotional security, stability, and even psychological relief. It's almost as if the entire environment returns to normal the moment you appear. And maybe that's exactly why some dogs can't control their own reaction when they finally see you walking through the door. The emotional signal that almost every owner confuses, but there's a concerning detail in all of this, and few people notice it while there's still time. Because not all of that hyperactivity means simply healthy happiness. In some cases, a dog's behavior reveals something much deeper happening behind the emotional scenes of his mind. And this is where many people start to see a hidden truth that had gone unnoticed before. Some dogs develop such an intense level of emotional dependency that the owner's arrival is no longer just a happy moment. It starts functioning as a massive psychological relief, as if for hours the dog had been trapped in a silent state of anxiety, waiting for everything to return to normal. Maybe that's why some dogs can't calm down even several minutes after you arrive. They keep jumping, running, crying, breathing fast, or following the owner through the entire house without stopping. And the most curious thing is that many of these signs seem extremely cute on the surface. After all, who doesn't find it moving when a dog demonstrates so much attachment? But now, I want to show you something that completely changes the way you interpret this. Many behaviors considered pure love can actually be hiding emotional insecurity, fear of separation, and even difficulty handling the absence of the most important person in their life on their own. And that creates a very powerful reflection. Is your dog happy when you arrive, or desperate because you left? Do you notice the impact of that difference? Because when a dog enters silent emotional suffering, he starts creating small patterns that almost nobody notices at first. Some become restless near the door, others go on alert at the slightest sound, and there are those who seem never to fully relax while their owner is away. Now the most important question starts to emerge. How do you tell the difference between a healthy expression of love and an emotional signal that deserves attention? The emotional message your dog tries to deliver to you every day. And perhaps the most beautiful part of all of this is understanding that when your dog runs to you, he's not just reacting out of impulse. That is an emotional language, a silent way he found to say something that words could never explain. Because dogs don't express love the way humans do. They use movement, closeness, energy, and physical presence to show what they feel. That's why some jump, others press their body against you, some grab toys, and there are those who simply cannot leave your side for even a few seconds. Each reaction is different, but the emotional truth behind them is usually the same. Maybe nobody on the planet is as genuinely happy to see you as your dog, and when that realization enters your mind, something starts to change, because you understand that to him, you're not just the human in the house. You represent safety, routine, protection, emotional comfort. You are the point of stability within his reality. In other words, you've become home. Now think about the quiet impact of that for a few seconds. How many times has someone been so genuinely happy just because you showed up? No judgment, no expectations, no need for explanations, just pure, immediate, and real happiness. Maybe that's why so many people build such deep bonds with their dogs throughout their lives. Because in a world where almost everything changes all the time, dogs keep offering something rare, real emotional presence. And the more you understand the small signals of canine behavior, the more you realize there's a hidden truth behind attitudes that used to seem simple. The way he follows you through the house, the way he watches your every move, the way he tries to stay close, even without any apparent reason. All of that tells an emotional story that most people never learn to read. And maybe that's exactly what makes a dog's love so different from human love. And maybe after all of this, you'll never see your dog's reaction the same way again. Because when we start to understand what truly lies behind these small behaviors, something changes in the entire relationship. The way you look, the way you come home, the way you notice the details. Everything starts to carry a much deeper meaning. If you love your dog and want to understand what he truly feels, this channel was made for you. Here you'll discover signals that most people ignore every single day. Each video is a new way to strengthen the bond with someone who trusts you completely. If that resonates with you, subscribe right now, because those who truly understand their dog never look at him the same way again. Now I want to hear from you. Does your dog do this too? Does he run, jump, grab toys, or follow you through the entire house when you get home? Tell me in the comments, because each behavior can have a different meaning. When you share, you also help other people better understand their own dogs. And I read everything so I can bring videos that are closer and closer to your reality. Right down below, my dog waits for me. And if this video made you notice something new about your dog, hit the like button right now. That tells YouTube that this kind of content needs to reach more people who love their dogs. It might seem like a small thing, but that gesture helps other owners avoid making mistakes without even realizing it. And in the end, more dogs live better lives because of it. So click like and be part of that. There's a video right beside this one that complements this subject perfectly and shows other emotional signals that dogs display every single day without almost anyone noticing. Click on it and keep going with me over there.